Hello, I'm Sierra Boggess from Love Never Dies, and this is Musical World TV.
Het was de meest besproken nieuwe musical van 2010. Love Never Dies van Andrew Lloyd Webber. Exclusief bij musicalworld.tv een interview met de hoofdrolspeelster. Niet te geloven. Sierra Boggess spreekt met ons. En niet vergeten, alleen op musicalworld.tv. Hello, Sierra.
Hi.
Nice to have us here in your dressing room. Your really cool dressing room.
That's right. It's nice.
That's a luxury here.
Yeah.
You are a Denver girl.
That's right. I was born and raised in Denver, Colorado, with the mountains as my backyard. Lovely. And now here I am in the city.
Is Denver a cool place to be if you like musicals?
Absolutely. I saw, actually Sunset Boulevard was the first musical I saw. It was a touring production, and I saw it, they came through Denver. So that was my first taste of a Broadway scale musical. Nice that it was an Andrew Lloyd Webber piece as well, that sort of got me excited. And I just always grew up singing and always loved that. So I think that that's probably how I fell into loving musical theater and wanting to do that as my career.
A star, and you a wife, and isn't life a splendid thing?
You living there in the mile-high city, how do you attract the attention of West End icons like Andrew Lloyd Webber?
How do I attract that attention? I don't know. Auditioning, I suppose.
Oh. The traditional way.
The traditional way. I got to work with him in 2006. I auditioned for Phantom of the Opera.
Just like that. You
just
thought,
like that.
Why not try the role of roles, Christine Daae?
Right. That was a role I had always aspired to do. It's one of my dream roles. So when I was in school, I worked on, singing some more soprano, and I also worked on my ballet training, and I made sure that I could go on point, because Christine has to do that. They don't necessarily have to in the productions, because it is rare to be able to go on point and then sing a high E flat. But I was like, no, if I'm going to play Christine one day, I'm going to do it all. So I worked really hard, and then, the opportunity came to audition for it years later. And I say all that because I think it's important that people realize that if you want something, then you just work really hard, and you do everything you possibly can in order to prepare yourself for one day maybe getting to have your dream come true.
Yeah. Then you got the role, and I must confess, I saw you in 2007 at the Venetian.
Did you? Wow.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a spectacular production of Phantom.
The emphasis on spectacular.
Yeah. It was so cool to be able to do Christine in that particular environment because of how they custom designed the theater for the show, and it was just such an incredible experience.
I must share my doubts I had then. Beautiful musicals, I could not match them with loud casino hotels.
Yeah, I definitely.
What do you think of that?
I agree with you. It was difficult to do a show with such lush, gorgeous music, such beautiful love story, and then walk out the door into casino and hear the sounds of that and all this. But I do think that it's a kind of interesting and lovely idea to bring that touch of class to a place like Las Vegas, which is getting classier, I think, by every year, in each hotel that's being built and all that stuff. It is nice, and the Venetian is one of the nicest hotels, I think, that's there, which is where obviously Phantom gets to play. So I like the idea of Andrew bringing that world of Phantom to a place like Las Vegas, and it's still running, which is amazing.
And for you, as a working actress, the show was over within 95 minutes.
Yes. For everybody else, that they sort of had a kind of a nice show, but for the Phantom, Christine and Raoul, basically the parts that were cut out was everything that doesn't have to do with Christine, Raoul, and the Phantom. So our stuff is all still intact for the most part. So it's just like once the curtain was up, it was like I was shot out of a cannon and I was Christine for a solid 95 minutes, and then could breathe.
We're now in 2010, after 3 years. Did it help you to land the part in Love Never Dies? This experience in Vegas?
Absolutely, I think so. It is a different show, obviously, and she has grown up in such a period of time, and I think having played the first one, I can draw on that. You know, she was 18 in the first one, now she's 28. And so I can draw on what I would have felt like as an 18-year-old, I think, playing in that, you know, first Christine. But now, there's so many different experiences that have happened to her that we don't know about, that we can sort of make up in that 10-year span that we haven't seen. So it is really fascinating as an actress to get to play a character 10 years on.
Were you curious about how the Phantom would continue after the ending?
Yeah, I for sure was. It's such a story that I really loved and sort of related to when I was doing the first Phantom. So carrying on with a story that you love so much, you do want to know. And I think what we've done with him and how Andrew has written, you know, what happens next, I think is really fascinating. I like to know that stuff. I like to think about, I'm the kind of person who wants to know what happens after the fairy tale has ended. You know, and some people don't want to know. They want to know that they live happily ever after and that's it. They don't want to delve into the psychological stuff that, you know, these characters may go through. So I think that's why some people would not be interested in a sequel, because they like it as to know, you know, as it is. But for me personally, I'm fascinated by how things sort of keep going.